South Carolina, an expanse of marshland and rivers, estuaries and barrier islands, sandbars and beaches, home to a diverse range of life from cold-blooded reptiles to ocean-bound turtles. Found within this magnificent site is debris like plastic and garbage such as metals and thrown-out fishing equipment, whether it be from the city of Charleston or the industrial plants located throughout the state itself. These pollutants are the type of things the public never see and what effect they have on wildlife. Some past examples of such cases are plastic six-pack rings strangling sea turtles and the entangling of turtles and fish within shrimp nets. Many marine organisms consume plastics every day, which is then fed to their offspring and continues further along the food chain. Sea turtles' main food source is jellyfish, and whenever a plastic bag is discarded into the ocean, a turtle can easily mistake it for a jellyfish, and if consumed, will cause much harm to them internally.
How long have you been doing research on plastics on marine mammals?
So I started graduate school at the College of Charleston, studying marine biology, fall of not last year, but 2015. So that's when I started, and I didn't actually start researching plastics then. That wasn't the original intention, but as I started to get more aware of the problems that we're interested in addressing around here, I got into plastics, and so I'm right now in the process of looking at plastics in dolphins.
Do you know what the primary way that plastics get into the ocean?
Um, Several ways. So plastics can either make their way into the ocean because maybe people are not recycling probably, and if they're littering, wind and weather can just cause it to get pushed into the ocean. So that's something that can be a source of plastics for the ocean, but also fishermen and recreational boats, just boats being out there and also just not, just losing fishing gear or losing track of something and it ends up in the ocean. So there are a million ways that plastic ends up in the ocean.
Where does the plastic go once it gets in the ocean?
Several places again. So plastic can congregate and can aggregate, I should say. I mean, in areas where the water, like because of the ocean currents, and it can aggregate on fronts or in the middle of ocean gyres, which are basically just huge circulating current systems. And so it can just aggregate in the center of those. It ends up on the beaches, just washed up. It ends up on in the sediment. So really, it impacts all aspects of the ocean and the marine ecosystem.
Do you think the plastics affect marine life?
I do think so. It's not completely certain how it affects marine life, and that's why there's a lot of ongoing research about it. But as far as plastic ingestion, which is what I'm looking at, bigger plastics, plastic bags and different things like that, if animals eat them, they can suffocate. They might get full. Like a lot of marine birds will just fill their stomachs with it, and that's not good because then they're not eating what they should be eating, and they're not feeding their young what they should be feeding them. And so there's always just that danger that they're eating something that is not it's not in their diet, it's not what they should be eating. And there are other ways that plastic and microplastics can influence marine life, but everything is just so uncertain right now, and there needs to be a lot more research on the topic.
What can people do to help stop this, to help stop plastic harming marine life?
Well, definitely properly recycling their plastic products once they use them. Make sure they end up in the right place and not in the ocean. I think a great way, if you directly want to get involved, is to participate in beach sweeps and clean up. Just to clean up the ocean. If you see when you're walking along the beach something that shouldn't be there, just try to be mindful in your daily lives about recycling, and then also about cleaning up after yourself when you're visiting the ocean.
You can help solve this issue by reducing the amounts of plastics used in your home and community. By using reusable water bottles and paper bags to keep throwaway materials to a minimum, participating in beach sweeps and making sure to pick up any garbage you may see along the streets or roads in your town. You can do all this and more to rid our planet of this plastic paradise.